How's it going, Ayo? In this video, we're going to talk about all the Colleen Ballinger memes, the shocking allegations that have just come out about Jonathan Majors, and the fact that a verdict has now been reached over Travis Scott's involvement in the Astroworld tragedy. So, Colleen Ballinger's ukulele video has sparked a ton of wild reactions and memes on social media. 2 days ago, she broke her silence on social media for the first time. She was addressing accusations that had been made against her, namely that she fostered inappropriate relationships with her underage fans. Over the last couple of weeks, several of them came forward to share the uncomfortable experiences they had with her when they were a teenager, and now they've leveled some pretty strong allegations against her. Since then, the backlash has only escalated, and it became so much worse every day that Colleen stayed silent. She then released a response video in the form of a 10-minute song while playing the ukulele. While people were relieved to finally hear from her, the decision to address everything in the form of a song was criticized as bizarre and a huge misstep. She starts off by singing, "I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. A lot of people are saying some stuff about me that aren't quite true. It doesn't matter if it is true though, just as long as it's entertaining to you." She then explains that she's been advised against responding to the claims by her team, and she then realized that they never said that she couldn't sing it. Colleen then launches into her toxic gossip train song and tries to address all the claims at once, which only amount to one big denial. As you could pretty much expect, people did not appreciate this kind of response. The allegations are just way too serious for her to try to put them in a song. The comments on the video are not great either. Yes, there are people who've left some positive messages like her fans, but most people have not held back in their reactions. They wrote things like, "I cannot believe this is real," and "an apology without an apology." Another person wrote, "You mean to tell me she wrote, rehearsed, sat down to film this, and still thought it was a good idea? Girl, you're delusional." As well as the criticism, a ton of memes have started flooding the internet. People just can't seem to wrap their head around the bizarre decision to turn the whole thing into a song. One of the best ones is a clip from Victorious where Cat Valentine bursts out into song. At the same time, the people around her are dead silent. The caption says, "Colleen Ballinger after her PR team told her not to speak on the controversy." Another golden one is the confused reaction face from one of her accusers, Adam McIntyre, with the caption, "Literally everyone when Colleen Ballinger brought out the ukulele." But there were also some very serious criticisms of this whole thing. One person tweeted, "The Colleen Ballinger non-apology seems to be taking a page from David Dobrik's response to our Vlog Squad investigation in 2021. She posted it to her third channel and said, 'My team didn't want me to do this. It's fascinating how YouTubers copy each other's bad crisis PR.' The best part about all of this though is that Adam released an identical looking response video yesterday where he was also strumming a ukulele, and it just shines light on how bad her idea really was, even though she clearly put a lot of effort into the song. While singing, she says, "I'm sure you're disappointed in my little song. I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take that route of admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout." Colleen insists that the only thing she's ever groomed is her 2 Persian cats, and she says she's just a loser who didn't understand that she shouldn't respond to fans, claiming that all of these theories boil down to a fart joke that she made like 5 years ago. She explained that early on in her YouTube career she used to message her fans a lot, though she says that it wasn't in a creepy way but more in a loser kind of way. She said she was just trying to be besties with everyone, but that sounds like she was trying to downplay what she would actually send into those group chats, which were full of her 13 to 16-year-old fans. Someone shared screenshots of messages that she sent where she was asking them to come for a sleepover. She also asked some highly inappropriate questions like when they got their first period and what their favorite position was. To add to that, Adam McIntyre claimed that Colleen would trauma dump on him all the time, giving him intimate details about the ins and outs of her marriage with Joshua David Evans. Speaking of Joshua, he has now posted a response which sounds like he's encouraging his ex-wife to come clean. The post said, "In the midst of chaos and pain, remember to protect the goodness within yourself. Choose healthy ways of coping. Choose humility over winning. Choose the version of you that you can be proud of. You don't have to be perfect to do the right thing." It's difficult to know what he actually meant by this, so for now we'll just have to say that it's up for interpretation. And it really must be the year of celebrity downfalls, because even more Jonathan Majors allegations have now surfaced. The internet is firmly divided after a new 3-month Rolling Stone investigation has come out, which sheds new light on the situation. The outlet spoke with more than 40 people, many of whom were said to have known Jonathan for more than a decade. Out of those people, more than a dozen have attested to his emotional and physical violence towards his previous romantic partners. According to 9 sources, he apparently strangled one of his ex-girlfriends and subjected the other one to emotional attacks. Neither of these women spoke to Rolling Stone, as they said said that they were scared of retaliation. The article also claims that this kind of behavior is not limited to his romantic partners. Some sources allege that he's also been violent, intimidating, and aggressive on film sets, like the one for the upcoming movie magazine Dreams, where he is said to have pushed one person and screamed at another. Not only that, but classmates from the Yale School of Drama have described several altercations and confrontations with Jonathan while they were in the program, some of which led to the administration sending an email to him as a reminder about rehearsal etiquette and violence. Overall, the report paints a picture of someone who can be charming and sweet, but also cold, scary, and violent, like one of his former classmates described him. Another source from production claimed that he takes sick pleasure out of making female crew members cry and targeting people he could tell would be too afraid to stand up for themselves. One of the sources said, quote, "No one is surprised that this is all coming out. I always felt like it was a matter of time because his behavior never changed. He's kind of a bad dude, and now it's just catching up with him." Of course, the reactions to this article have been decidedly mixed. Jonathan's legal team hit back at the investigation. Apparently, they sent Rolling Stone 6 character witnesses from women he had dated or was close with in the past, including his girlfriend of 5 years from the ages 13 to 18. She backed him up and asserted that he is not violent in any way. But it later came out that 3 of these women told Rolling Stone that they did not give his team permission to release the statements, and one of them outright said that the statement was not truthful. And in terms of his behavior on set, Jonathan has attributed it to method acting, which to be fair would not be unusual to do at drama school. His lawyer Dustin A. Push released a statement saying the allegations that Mr. Majors got physical with or physically intimidated anyone on any movie set are downright false. Everyone who's worked with Mr. Majors knows that he employs an immersive method acting style, and while that can be misconstrued as rudeness at times, those who know Mr. Majors and work in the industry have attested to his dedication to his craft as well as his kindness. To be fair, Jonathan has talked about his acting techniques before. When he spoke to Men's Health, he claimed that it was more of an immersive approach than traditional method acting. He said, "I'm not going to be an acting snob here, but I will say when people talk about the method, they're talking specifically about Strasberg." He also said that he is willing to do whatever it takes for the best performance. Earlier this week, there was a surprising twist in this case, when Jonathan filed a complaint with law enforcement against his ex, alleging that she was the one who attacked him, rather than the other way round. This only muddied the waters further, because some people were saying that this has exonerated him, and others said that he's just trying to reverse the victim and offender, which is a popular tactic in trying to avoid blame. But it looks like Jonathan already has one celebrity supporter, his co-star Anthony Mackie, who became the first MCU actor to comment on the allegations. He said, "We're a country that was built on everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's one of the staples of this country. Nothing has been proven about this dude. Nothing. So everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's all I can say. It's crazy where we are as a society, but as a country, everyone is innocent until proven guilty." Of course, Anthony's response came with some criticism on social media, considering his choice of words. But there are a lot of people who feel this way, that no matter what comes out about him now, we have to wait for the justice system and the legal process before we come to any conclusions about what he has or hasn't done. The actor is expected to return to court in New York on the 3rd of August for his trial. So until then, we will just have to wait and see. And now a verdict has been reached for the Astroworld tragedy. It turns out Travis Scott and the organizers behind Astroworld Festival will not face criminal charges. A grand jury in Houston made the ruling on Thursday. Attorney Kent Schaefer released a statement saying, "My client Travis Scott will not be charged with criminal charges or any wrongdoing for his involvement with Astroworld Festival. Today's decision by the Harris County District Attorney confirms what we have known all along, that Travis Scott is not responsible for the Astroworld tragedy." While waiting patiently for the district attorney's decision not to file charges, Travis Scott has been inaccurately and wrongly singled out, despite stopping the show 3 separate times and being unaware of the events as they were unfolding. He ended the statement by saying that the government's efforts need to focus on stopping future tragedies like this one from ever occurring again. On that fateful day, 50,000 fans attended the show, which led to a surge during Travis's performance. Apparently, the crowd started surging somewhere around 9 p.m, and there was a panic which had people running for safety. At that point, Travis had paused his set several times to ask security to help out fans, and members of the fire department were sent into the dense crowd to rescue the injured. Sadly, 10 people in the crowd lost their lives that day. A lot of the backlash against Travis came from the idea that he continued his performance while people were being crushed, though he has since said that he was unaware of what was happening and apologized to the victims' families. He denied his responsibility over the tragedy, calling the lawsuits to be dismissed. A few months ago, the rapper settled one of them brought about by the family of 21-year-old victim Axel Acosta, and his death was truly horrific. The case claimed that Axel was crushed by the incited, unruly, and an out-of-control crowd and lay dying while the music continued for almost 40 minutes. Travis offered to pay for the funeral cost of the victims, but 5 of the families rejected the offer, calling it demeaning and inappropriate. Right now, he and the promoters of Live Nation still face billions of dollars in potential damages, over hundreds of civil claims, all alleging wrongful death, personal injuries, and negligence. Following the tragedy, Travis stated in an Instagram video that he was not aware how bad the situation had become during his set. He said, "Anytime I could make out anything that was going on, I just stopped the show and helped them get the help that they need. I could just never imagine the severity of the situation." But in the almost 2 years since the tragedy, he's continually come under fire for his insensitivity. In February, Travis and Kylie Jenner both faced backlash after they decided to celebrate their son's first birthday with an Astroworld themed party. Kylie shared images from the day on Instagram, which featured elaborate decorations all catered to the theme. But it wasn't exactly subtle. Alongside a ball pit and an array of toys, the party's entrance was a giant inflatable model of her son Air's face in the style of the Astroworld Festival entrance. The designs included inflatable heads with gaping mouths modeled after Stormy, which looked very similar to the cover of Travis's album. The giant head had rainbow-colored slides coming out of its mouth, while another design featured a walkway through its mouth for guests to enter. As soon as these photos came out, people began accusing Kylie and Travis of being insensitive to the victims of the tragedy. The theme was dragged as tasteless and inappropriate, with people concluding that neither of them actually cared about what happened. So what do you guys think about the verdict and this latest story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.